For every groundbreaking innovation and successful venture, there are countless stories of ambitious endeavors that didn't quite go according to plan. From colossal missteps to misguided ideas, we're here to unravel the tales of tech projects that fell flat on their faces.
A device that's going to change everything. Science is hard.
If anything, the Pulse is a lesson on how not to design a wearable. In no way is it worth $400.
We live in an era where big tech companies hold tremendous power and influence, but it's essential to remember that they're not immune to setbacks. Even the giants stumble from time to time. So, in this video, we'll take a captivating journey through 10 of the most notable failures in the world of technology. In this video, we'll explore the ambitious initiatives that promised to change the world but ended up being cautionary tales. We'll unearth the stories behind these ill-fated projects, examining the reasons for their failure and the valuable lessons we can learn from them. But first, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you will be notified when we drop any new video. Consider hitting the like button as well. Let's go! 10. Theranos. Technology and medicine has been combined successfully to solve many health problems, so it's not a surprise when Theranos caught the attention of so many investors. Theranos, the one-time unicorn startup offering seemingly world-changing blood diagnostic technology, is one of the best examples of dangerous medical innovation fails. Once valued at an eye-watering $9 billion, the company went belly up in a 2016 fraud scandal.
So Theranos claimed to be able to create a system that would kind of circumvent a lot of those challenges. So they said that they could have a tabletop doctor's office sized machine.
Despite having some famous backers and a lot of Silicon Valley hype, Theranos was apparently manipulating its lab results to appear more lucrative for investors. Even worse, it was pushing its products to market before they showed any signs of being actually workable. The founder and CEO of Theranos, Elizabeth Holmes, was indicted and tried for fraud, for her role in deceiving investors, and for misrepresenting the company's technology to the public. In November 2022, Holmes was sentenced to more than 11 years in prison. The Therano scandal is a potent reminder of the need for transparency and accountability in innovation. It's also an example of corporate innovation culture gone horribly wrong. 9. Coolest cooler. It takes a lot of effort to turn a cooler into a tech flop. A cooler can't be that hard to sell, even one as simple as a styrofoam box, so a corporation has to go above and beyond to make it a failure, let alone one that was teeming with technology. But that's precisely what the coolest cooler accomplished when it first appeared a few years ago. The coolest cooler was one of the most successful Kickstarter projects ever in 2014, raising a staggering $13 million.
Impossible.
Which no one could have predicted. Who'd have guessed that coolers were so popular? The coolest cooler was designed to be able to charge electronics such as your phone and have its own blender and Bluetooth speaker, among other features. By 2019, the corporation had filed for bankruptcy, and the cooler had finally gone up in flames. The CEO blamed Chinese tariffs for the device's demise. However, product evaluations from 2016 had previously shown that the cooler was mainly useless. With a price tag of $399, you'd think a high-tech cooler would at least operate properly, but this one didn't. The blender was subpar at best, with a battery life of just around 4 minutes of blending time. The cooler was never issued because the firm ran out of money during the Kickstarter campaign. Therefore, backers who still wanted one had to pay an extra $96. Additionally, folks who did not fund the Kickstarter and instead purchased one on Amazon received theirs sooner. 8. Quibi. Quibi, which stood for Quick Bites, was the brainchild of Jeffrey Katzenberg. It was supposed to be Netflix for mobile, a platform for short-form streamed video content about 7 to 10 minutes long. Quibi launched in April 2021. It had big Hollywood stars such as Kevin Hart, Anna Kendrick, Sam Raimi, Idris Elba, Dwayne Johnson, Jennifer Lopez, and other notable stars. How did so many well-known people show up? It's possible that the approximately $2 billion in investment funds had something to do with it. Besides, Jeffrey Katzenberg is not a new name in Hollywood big productions. He is a film producer and former chairman of Walt Disney Studios. He is a bankable name in Hollywood, but his idea, Quibi? Not so much, because many people apart from those directly involved never thought it will survive. To their credit, Quibi survived approximately 7 months. There was no one on board. Only a mobile phone could be used to view Quibi. It was impossible to screen cap Quibi's shows. It was way too pricey for what it was, and, more significantly, almost everything they produced was mediocre at best. Nearly every program on the platform was unanimously criticized by critics and spectators alike. 7. Juicero. The worldwide juice business is approaching $200 billion annually. So, yeah, we like our juice. The annual revenue from kitchen gadgets is over $17.6 billion. Putting them together is a match made in heaven. Or, at the very least, it should have been. Juicero seemed to be a fantastic idea in 2017. To prepare excellent juice, you need a sophisticated kitchen device, right? How it worked: individual fruit packets were pressed in an internet-connected machine sponsored by some big-name investor's $120 million investment. The machine worked like a vice, squeezing pre-made vegetable and fruit packages with 4 tons of force to produce delicious and healthy fresh juice. Then someone discovered you could simply tweak the packets by hand, eliminating the need for the $699 juice press. When reporters put it to the test, they found that they could obtain just as much juice and do it quicker if they did it barehanded. Even after lowering the price to $400, the Juicero had already had a disastrous debut. They went bankrupt after just a few months in business. 6. Google Glass. When the Google Glass high-tech glasses were announced back in April of 2012, many were sure that it would be a game-changer. These motion and voice-controlled, Android-powered glasses were designed to function as a sort of hands-free smartphone, offering access to the internet, maps, your calendar, camera, and more. And Google certainly established Google Glass as a high-end piece of tech with its shocking price of $1,500, considerably more expensive than even the newest iPhone at the time. There was a lot of commotion surrounding Google Glass, with mainstream media and tech enthusiasts alike talking endlessly about the upcoming release of this new kind of technology. Even the average individual was getting excited. However, the Google Glass inventors and designers never really specified why the Google Glass would be worth the buy. There was never any clear statement on the purpose of Google Glass, and why it would be a step above the smartphone. Because of this functional ambiguity, Google Glass sales were disappointing, and it sort of just fell off the radar. 5. Google Plus. Google isn't exactly a stranger to failed startups. In 2011, it launched Google Plus, a social media network. Put simply, Google Plus failed because Google needed to understand the user's needs more to make this social media network worthwhile. Given that this was Google's 4th attempt at a social media network, it's disappointing to see it fail. Google Plus was intended for users to share absolutely everything, but users didn't want that. It was also difficult for people to connect with each other via different platforms on Google Plus, essentially making it a non-starter. Overall, Google Plus failed due to its late entry into a competitive market, lack of differentiation, complexity, low user engagement, privacy concerns, fragmentation within the Google ecosystem, and limited appeal to niche audiences. These factors combined to prevent Google Plus from becoming a successful social networking platform. 4. Pulse. The Pulse, backed by the musician will.i.am, is a smartwatch with its own SIM, meaning it doesn't need to be connected to a smartphone to function. Given that it was designed to act as its own smartphone, the Pulse's tiny screen makes it difficult to do things easily on a smartphone, such as texting. On top of this, the Pulse main function was also pretty useless. The Pulse is mainly designed to determine and track your mood simply by how your voice sounds. However, this mood identification isn't a watertight system and doesn't always work. Many criticized the Pulse mood identification option for its uselessness. After all, who wants to be told how they're feeling when they're already aware of it? It's safe to say that this whole venture seemed a little gimmicky, and Pulse ended up being a total flop. Sorry, will.i.am, but we just had to include this one. 3. The Amazon Fire Phone. The Amazon Fire Phone was an exciting premise when it was announced back in June of 2014. People loved Amazon, so the idea of this successful retail giant bringing out a phone seemed great. However, the Fire Phone had a lot to live up to, and the pressure was on to make a truly impressive piece of technology. But it didn't. The phone was criticized for its futile and gimmicky features, as well as the fact that it didn't allow for the use of nearly as many apps as Android and iOS. And so, the Amazon Fire Phone soon became a thing of the past. Overall, the Amazon Fire Phone failed to resonate with consumers due to its limited practical innovations, heavy reliance on Amazon services, high price point, exclusivity to a single carrier, limited app selection, and lack of developer support. These factors ultimately led to its lack of market success, and Amazon discontinued the Fire Phone in 2015. 2. The 3D television evolution. In early 2010, 3D television was launched with Samsung and Panasonic leading the way. By the end of the year, other TV manufacturers had joined the party. 3D televisions were a technological advancement in the television industry that aimed to provide a three-dimensional viewing experience in the comfort of one's home. However, despite initial hype and popularity, 3D TVs ultimately failed to gain widespread adoption and were gradually phased out. 3D televisions introduced stereoscopic imagery, using special glasses to create the illusion of depth perception and a more immersive viewing experience. Manufacturers heavily promoted 3D capabilities as a key selling point, and movie studios released a significant number of 3D films to capitalize on the trend. Initially, there was a surge in consumer interest, and many early adopters purchased 3D TVs. However, several factors contributed to the overall failure of this technology. Limited content availability. While some movies, documentaries, and sports events were released in 3D formats, the availability of compelling 3D content remained limited. Inconvenient viewing experience. Watching 3D content often required wearing special glasses, which were cumbersome, uncomfortable, and had compatibility issues across different television models and brands. High cost and limited upgrade benefit. 3D TVs typically came at a higher price point compared to their non-3D counterparts. Many consumers were reluctant to invest in an expensive technology that only provided a marginal improvement in viewing experience, especially considering the limited availability of 3D content. Health and safety concerns. Prolonged viewing of 3D content could cause discomfort, dizziness, and headaches for some individuals. Additionally, there were concerns about the potential long-term effects of 3D viewing, especially for children and individuals with certain medical conditions. Dyson Electric Car. The Dyson Electric Car project, initiated by the British technology company Dyson, aimed to develop an electric vehicle (EV) that would rival existing automobile manufacturers. Dyson, known for its innovative vacuum cleaners and other home appliances, announced in 2017 that it was venturing into the automotive industry with plans to develop an electric car. The company invested substantial resources, including hiring hundreds of engineers and committing billions of dollars to the project. The Dyson Electric Car project sought to differentiate itself by focusing on advanced battery technology and efficient electric motors, leveraging Dyson's expertise in electric motor design. The company aimed to create a high-performance, technologically advanced electric vehicle that would compete with established players in the industry. But in 2019, Dyson announced that they were not going to continue with the EV project. Wait, but why? There were a bunch of reasons for this decision, but the major reasons were: 1. Cost and competitive landscape. Developing an electric car from scratch requires enormous financial investments and resources. Dyson faced intense competition from well-established automakers that had years of experience and significant manufacturing capabilities. 2. Technological challenges. While Dyson had expertise in electric motor design, building a complete electric vehicle involves a wide range of complex engineering disciplines. It requires expertise in areas such as battery technology, vehicle design, safety regulations, and manufacturing processes. Overcoming these technological challenges within a reasonable timeframe and budget may have proven more difficult than anticipated. In summary, the Dyson Electric Car project failed due to the significant financial and competitive challenges associated with developing an electric vehicle from scratch, technological complexities, market uncertainties, and a strategic shift in the company's focus. Surely that must have come at some cost. The project cost British billionaire inventor Sir James Dyson over $900 million. But it's not all just loss. Dyson announced that it would redirect its resources towards other projects, including home appliances, environmental technologies, and electric vehicle components. The company may have concluded that it could better leverage its expertise and resources in these areas rather than trying to compete in the crowded electric car market. These tech projects might not have lived up to their hype, but it doesn't take away the ingenuity of the brilliant minds behind them. There are so many technologies that we enjoy today that failed at first attempt to make them. It won't be a huge surprise to see some of these products make a comeback in the future. Please subscribe to our channel by hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notification button. Like and share this video. Thanks.